Hello again. Yeah, I'm still here, still alive, still kicking, still trying to live in a mad world where everything seems to be against us as individuals, as people with rights, and people with responsibilities towards their loved ones. The governments of the world seem to be pushing for complete domination of us, our spirits, our intelligence, our spirituality, all of it. And I'm quite kind of struggling with my discipline in certain areas of my life. Like being proactive. Using my muscles. Spend all my days sitting around doing nothing, basically, watching shit on TV, playing video games, avoiding my reality. One thing I am doing is trying my best to connect to my family, my daughter, my son, and my wife as best I can, whilst also protecting my heart from the fears of death. Death is the ultimate fear, and I guess on automatic I kind of disconnect in a certain way, so I'm not fully present with them in love and in how I behave towards them. I'm kind of ignorant, being an ignoramus even. I, I don't really put my heart into it because at some point you've got to protect yourself when you're diagnosed with cancer, and you tend to struggle with the things that matter the most. Annoyingly, right now, talking about this stuff, it's giving me a kind of well, it's not a seizure, it's a pulse in my arm and in my head. So if you wanted to know how I kind of do that, to control that, I should probably stop talking. So my left arm gets a bit funny, my left hand starts to lose function. So I try to change the energy and where it's focused. So right now my left arm is trying to slip, so I'm using my right to support it, which seems to relax the neck muscle and in turn relaxes the brain. And if I turn opposing my left side, and take deep breaths into the abdomen, through the nose and out through the mouth. I create a response that is quite relaxing. I had this same predicament in the school playground where I was waiting for my daughter. One of the other parents spoke to me and said, "How are you doing? You okay?" And I said, "Well, yeah, as best I can be." Yeah, because I'm basically, I've got brain cancer, and this is what's going on. And I had a brain operation, lost functionality, and I explained my story. And funnily enough, the stress of it, the memory of it, the muscle memory, caused me to have a partial seizure. So I was panicking internally, without thoughts. Just the whole experience of an awake craniotomy can cause like a brain response of pain, suffering, and completely weird, bewildering experience because you're fully aware. And I guess when I lost the functionality of my left hand completely during the operation, the panic of that is something that my body responds to, my brain responds to, my stress hormones. And yeah, so I ended up just saying I've got to stop talking about this because otherwise it's just going to cause issues. And he was like, yeah, I totally understand. And I walked off because I saw my daughter coming, and I tried to calm myself using breath technique and just relaxing my muscles and totally ignoring everything around me except for my daughter, because that's love. And to be honest, responding to that was the best thing. I forgot why I was doing this video, but I guess I'll just keep on talking. I'm not even going to edit it because editing's time consuming and I don't really care about it. It's not why I post my videos, it's to kind of vent myself, to find myself, and to relieve myself of any worry, any doubt. As you can see, I'm not in a kind of well-kept state. This is my constant state at the minute, kind of messy, kind of undisciplined, and I don't really care anymore about that. People can look at me and believe what they want to believe about my appearance, but it doesn't define who I am as a person. And my survival is going to be something that doesn't really require me to appear to be good looking or well kept. I'm sure if I was disciplined, I'd be shaving every week. I'd have my hair trimmed, I'd cut my nails. But I guess at some point I've reached a kind of point where I'm tired. I'm tired of it all, of really giving a shit about what anyone or anything thinks about me. I guess that's the daily struggle of anyone facing cancer. You've got to focus on yourself, and I've really only been focusing on my mental parts and ignoring my physical parts. And I think the only reason I'm actually doing this video is because I want to change that. So I need some feedback, some positive not affirmations, because I've got over 8 years of cancer. I've got the will and the mental resilience to cease all thoughts of death and fears that arise from it when I think about what would happen if I die. But when I die, it doesn't matter because I'm gone. And my fear of what happens to my loved one is the only thing that makes me suffer. So, I've got young children under the age of 5. One is 1, the other one's 4. I got married last year in summer, or spring, I can't remember. It's a wonderful day. But, the doubt and the worry creep in when it's all about how they will suffer, because young children, they don't understand death. And I don't want to bring that pain to them, but at some point it's going to happen to all of us. We're going to lose someone, we're going to lose ourselves to it. But I'm actually not afraid of it. How can I be? I've been here so long doing this stuff. Another aspect of it is the worry about money, because I do struggle daily with my sensitivities to what's here, what I believe to be here, this tumour, this mass. And I struggle to do the work, that's required of me. I try and get clients, but that's not something you can force upon people. Say, hey, you're cancer, you're surviving cancer, or you've just been diagnosed with cancer. I can't say, come talk to me because I have all the answers, because that's not the facts, that's not the truth. I have my own answers and my own experience, which is all anecdotal. Yes, it's viable and it's respectable, because what I've done is pretty amazing. And some of the times I don't have a clue how I got here and why I'm still alive, but I'm going to continue to do this work to try and bring to light that there are more ways than one to treat cancer, or to deal with cancer, to take back control of your fears of cancer, and how it might affect your life. Nutrition is probably the only thing that really matters. When we go, oh, I've got to consume sugary goods because it makes me feel better, it satisfies my ego, you're just hiding from the truth, is that you don't actually respect your decision to do any of this stuff. You do it on autopilot because it's everywhere. It's saturated in every market, in everything we do. You can't go out to get a quick bite to eat and it be something that is not sugary or full of chemicals or fake ingredients that don't really exist but have been manufactured to increase your cravings for it. And it disgusts me. But I can't do anything about your ideologies of food and your upbringing, your addictions from childhood, anything like that. The only people that can respond to their own addictions and cravings is you. So I had to do that when I was diagnosed, and it was very, very important. It was in the front of my mind that what I eat was affecting how I lived. So I ceased all ties to all of my past addictions. I don't consume sugar. I have the thought occasionally, oh, I miss this because everyone enjoys it so much around me. And I'm like, I'd enjoy that psychologically, but physically, all I'll be doing is killing myself. And I believe that as a fact. Because a brain tumour of this grade and severity is not something to be taken lightly. And everyone I talk to in my client meetings to discuss what I did and how I'm doing still, and what I'm doing still, which is basically carnivore with a little bit of, I have a little bit of white onion and a bit of cabbage occasionally, but that's all I have. And most of the time I just love eating meat because I don't have any reactions from it. Epileptically, if I was to eat something, too much carbohydrates, I would feel a response and some sort of sensitivity, which would then cause complications, maybe even seizures. I haven't had a grand mal seizure in over a year. So I'm doing really well in that regard. Even though my tumour seems to be at 2.4-ish centimetres, 2.6. Yeah. So I'm just... I kind of also need support from people, but I can't keep begging. I can't keep doing that. I've got to work for myself. So I've got a teachable course, which I'm still struggling to plan to make the website. I'm going to seek some help to help me do that. If people want to donate their time to create the course website and make it advertising and eye-catching for people to respond to in the public, I'd really appreciate that, because unfortunately my functionality in my brain and in my arm, this arm, is quite hard to bear. So when I'm typing, I get tired easily. When I'm thinking too much and talking too much, I get tired. I'm still recovering from a big brain operation over a year ago, which I'm not fully recovered in, and it will take time to heal, because basically removing parts of the brain takes a long time to heal, and it's not going to fully heal. The second operation is always the hardest on the brain, and any consecutive operations will be worse. So I want to get to the point where I don't have to rely on operations, where I can shrink the tumour through willpower and diet. But that's a dream. I'm going to stick to being present with what I am and who I am, and that means doing what I can, not what I think I should be doing. I will always strive to do what I'm able to. I'm not going to push myself beyond that. Maybe physically, because I can do... After my operation, I couldn't do one pull-up properly, but now I'm doing 4 easily. But that's my limit. But they're nice and slow, and I reach all the way to the ground, and I use my breath work. So it's high-intensity training. I've drifted a lot. The subject's not been very clear. But, I mean, does it have to be? I'm not going to get many followers on YouTube or likes for this video, but I don't care. I'm doing it for me. And I'm doing it for anyone who cares to listen. because cancer, brain cancer, terminal brain cancer, fucks you over so royally. Emotionally, physically, financially, you name it. So yeah, if anyone would like to support me and my family, because at the minute actually, I'm just going to mention this, they took away the majority of my ESA, which is Employment Support Allowance, DWP. So my partner tries to work just under the limit, the set limits that the DWs can allow you to work. But over the Christmas period and recently, because of the electricity hikes and the cost of energy and food even being taxed to high heaven, she's had to work more to try and make sure we have enough food, because we're eating organically, we're eating nutritionally, we're buying the most expensive items on the market because they're raising the taxes on those specific items: meat, eggs, fish, organic produce especially. And yeah, electricity costs me about, even when we're not using much, it's about £8 a day. And I can't afford to pay that because I'm down to £39 from 236 in my ESA. Because Rebecca, my wife, went over by a couple of pounds over the marker that they suggest you can work under. So that's a significant amount, and she's not earning enough to actually supplement what I'm getting taken away every 2 weeks, because we'd have money on those 2 weeks, and we can't budget because all our money has been taken by food and energy bills, basically, and fuel to get the food. It's a spiraling cascade of events that is causing more and more problems. I turn everything off and light. I make sure to, because I can't afford to live in this supposed energy crisis formed by a war, because of reliance on foreign energy. And the government's bureaucratic bullshit, which suggests that no one can get more wealthy than they without being snide and sly and going to a posh college where their family's been going to for generations, keeping everyone dumbed down. Yeah. But what I can do for myself is I can try to succeed in writing my book, in doing my Teachable course, and supporting my family and being a breadwinner. It's hard. So if you want to help, please follow my Patreon, become a Patreon of, you can, as little as £2 a month, whatever you wish, whatever you're able to. I'll put the link for my PayPal ME as well, so you can donate directly to me. That way, I don't have a fundraising website set up because no one really responds to those anymore, because I've been around so long and no one really cares. So this guy's still alive. Yeah, maybe he's not in that much need. There's people suffering more than I. It's probably true. But yeah, please support me if you can, and if not, just give a like and a follow, and yeah, subscribe and do whatever you want to do, really, because this is your life, it's not mine. I can't force you to do anything for me. I can only do stuff for myself. But I guess the more people that work together towards a common goal and supports each other, the better the life of everyone, especially in my case of brain cancer and everyone like me. So I don't want the lack of information to kill people, because I know it has, and it will continue to until the government and the healthcare system change, where they're not based on money and they're based on the actual health of the individual. So yeah, all my love to everybody, and peace.